What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm out here in Quezon City by the GMA Networks, starting my video crossing up an overpassage bridge, which I'm always scared of heights. Yup, I got money, man. Good way to start the video with people asking for money. I got no money, brother. No money, bro. No cash, no money, no cash. What a great way to start a video. But hey, I've been out here already, and I wanted to film the Detour Avenue, Tomas Morato. I want to see any updates because the last time I came, they were developing the area. But yeah, this area over here is Timog, which is actually going to be pretty busy. Then I'm over here by Edsa Highway. I so happened I was in Quezon City, you know, taking care of something, and then I figure, why not come over here, take the MRT, and film the area. So without further ado, join me. This over here is Timog, and you see the building, a building over here. I like to call it kind of like the Flatiron building of Quezon City. Then you see the heavy traffic jam, you know, all the jeepneys trying to make it towards Edsa. You know, Quezon City is a pretty nice, chill city in the metro part of Manila. Then you see all the jeepneys over here. It's gonna get actually nicer once I pass the circle and I make it towards Tomas Morato. You know, they have a lot of nice restaurants, nice condo units, nice houses if you detour into some of the regular streets. Also, a lot of Filipino actors and celebrities, they live around here or between. Because over here we got the GMA Network and we got ABS News, which is some of the highly networks in the Philippines. Also, PB, Pinoy, Big Brother House is in the other side, which I filmed there before. But let's see what else is happening over here. You know, the weather is a little bit more stable. It's still hot, but it's not raining, so I'd rather deal with the heat than raining. Like in my last video, Makati, it was pouring and windy, and it made it impossible for me to film, but I managed to make it happen, so let's do it. Here you see all the business going on. And then I see a lot of potential in this district. Like, they should develop the sidewalks and do like the yellow line that is for people who are blind. Like, they got another neighboring Asian cities. You know, like they design like literally a designated bike lane and like a sidewalk over here. I think it would look actually nicer. And this seems to be like a high-rise condo. I think on the other side they have a rendering, so Quezon City is developing pretty fast. Like literally 1 or 2 more MRT station stops away from here, they got another area that I'll film already, Vertis North. Also, they're developing the area. I see over here the yellow line. But they have another district that's called Vertis North that back in the days it used to be some of the largest slums in Metro Manila, and they developed it and now it's turning into a business district. So, but let's walk forward to see what's going on. Tons and tons of development that I'm seeing. You hear police, and then I like the structure of this building being developed here. Ambulance. Look, it's almost done. The last time I came, it was in process of being built, and now all of these buildings are rising up over here in the intersection. And there's gonna be more over that side. But let's cross the street. Cannot cross yet, but the light will change in my favor in a bit. And we'll see what else is happening. You see the other angle, these buildings, they got like coffee shops. And this is like another angle here that looks pretty cool. They're literally developing the sidewalk. I'm gonna go more towards indoors to show you what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the area that helps out for people with impediments, blind people. But they should put it more like towards the other side, you know. But still pretty interesting. Let's see what happens when I make a left towards Tomas Morato. This is Timog Avenue over here. Then you see a lot of business. So yeah, this sidewalk was not like this the last time I came here. See, they're developing it little by little, so pretty cool. And this is an area that a lot of foreigners, they really don't venture, but it's a really cool spot because they got a lot of foodie areas. If you're into food, you can come here and try some of the food. They have some nice nightlife over here, but pretty chill, nothing crazy. There's actually a cafe that I've been wanting to check out. I tried to check it out one time, but it was very full, and they play like 80s music. You know, I'm a fan of old school, like 80s, 90s music, and they dedicate, I think every night they open, you know, they have food, cervezas. And it's over here, but it's in the other side near ABS News. So, you know, they have a lot of pretty cool spots over here for you guys to check out. The heat is starting to kick in, but it is what it is. See, Timog Avenue, and then this one, Iba Dolasa, and some of the condos over here. Give you a little 360 view. Then this is the other angle, the other building that's being built. So little by little, the area's changing. I don't know if you guys can see me, but They literally developed like this little tiny sidewalk, and then they left the area for the parking. Like I said, it would be better if instead of parking, they turn it more into trees, and a bike lane. I think that would make the neighborhood pretty good, But yeah, every place is different. Also, another advice that I recommend you guys to do, and this is not just in the Philippines, any country, invest yourself in some pants that where you got the pockets that you put your phone, etc. It has zippers, if you know what I mean. That way it protects you. So over here is getting nicer because they have a bunch of trees and business. Like I said, map everything looks nearby, but it's a little bit of a walk, especially with this heat. But it is what it is. I don't mind doing it. I used to do this in New York City. Now I do it here in Pina, so it is what it is. Here everything keeps going. I always did this years ago in the nighttime too, and it's beautiful because of the lights and a lot of restaurants. But when you make it a Tomas Morato, it gets even nicer. And here's where they got the nice intersection. The daytime doesn't do much justice. In the nighttime, it's lit up with all the lights, especially the area that I'm standing, like over here. All of this, and sometimes they be doing protests, but over here is where it's going to turn into Tomas Morato. And here it gets actually better, but it's cool to see that they develop the sidewalk. See what I was talking about? I got the yellow line for people who are blind. They move the little stick. I had no idea because this is common in New York. In Jersey City, we don't have this, but when I started traveling around Asian countries, I started seeing it. Okay, so it seems that they developed Tomas Morato too. It looked pretty nice, so I'm gonna show you what's happening ahead of me. See, I like what I see. I've been, like I say, neighboring Asian countries, and I used to see this yellow line, but I didn't know what it was for. And then my wife told me it's for people, with visual impediments. Like it helps them, move around and walk. So that's a good concept. Something that I feel like in the West we should learn about. And then here where it gets pretty nice, restaurants, coffee shops. And then if you detour in some of the regular streets, you'll see pretty nice houses. But yeah, so far looking pretty good. This used to be red before the color, and they used to have kind of like a semi-bike lane. But let's see what happens when I walk a little bit more forward. And like I said, I think more foreigners should come and explore this district because it's actually pretty nice. Just want to show you a little bit over here in the Skinita, like a J. Cole, see the highway, how nice it is. And then not only the main street, if you walk into the regular streets, it's actually pretty nice, but this is just the beginning. I'm gonna keep walking towards that way and then turn back. So while they did develop this, so it's looking pretty nice so far. I like what I see. And then this is Mesa, which is a Filipino joint. One of my favorite also Filipino chain restaurants, but I think my favorite Filipino chain restaurant is Manam. I know some people, there's a little controversy with their sinigang, but I'm addicted to that watermelon sinigang. It's pretty good off the hook. And their sisig, of all the chain restaurants, I think that's where they better do it. Like very crispy and tasteful. So one of my favorite dishes too. Talking about foreigners, I just spotted for the first time that I've been coming to this district. Family of foreigners. Nice. I think from time to time you might see them, but most of the foreigners when they come to Metro Manila, they always come to Makati, Bonifacio Global City, even some parts of Ortigas, but I think Quezon City has a lot of areas that I think it's totally worth it to explore. And then here, see, we got coffee shop, Bruno's Barber, which is a barbershop chain, and then a 360 view of the road. In the nighttime, it's even nicer because all of this, they lit up with lights. Here's like a residential condo, and then even the regular streets. I'm gonna do a detour later in some of these streets to show you how it looks like. I ain't gonna lie, walking around here, it kind of reminds me of some districts in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, especially the brickfields district, like the structure of the buildings and the sidewalks, or the old part of Kuala Lumpur. It kind of reminds me a bit of that. And here they're building a new building. It looks like a outdoor mall. Pretty cool. And then the good thing, I'm going down the hill, but I think this is gonna be when I literally walk back. I'm probably gonna be tired from the cardio, but yeah, they did a lot of progress, man. The sidewalk is looking beautiful, So yeah, I think many other neighborhoods in Metro Manila should use this concept. Right here it gets nicer. They have a lot of like Korean restaurants over here and also like chain restaurants. But look at this. So yeah. But also I think the best time to come is on a weekend at nighttime. A lot of people, the lights and everything, it makes the neighborhood pretty beautiful. It's a shame because Metro Manila always get overlooked by neighboring Asian cities. So even when people come to the Philippines, they usually skip this city, but there's a lot happening over here. And it's the reason why I like living over here, because there's so many neighborhoods to explore. I love the province too, but it's not really like my cup of tea. Like over here, you know, in Metro Manila, I can go to one of the existing cities and find some apps and something new happening. And then here it keeps going, wow. So wait, you know, it was always nice, but it made it even nicer now, the neighborhood. So I'm glad that I came. And this is some of the reasons also why I come back again to some of the neighborhoods. Because, you know, sometimes neighborhoods change throughout the years and they develop, so it's always to come back and do an update video. I've been slacking a little bit with my vlogging, but gonna get back on track. In a little bit, I'm gonna travel to another country and film. But hey, I live here in the Philippines. It doesn't mean that I'm leaving for good. I'm just gonna travel neighboring countries to explore and film for you guys. I'm probably gonna do a detour in some of these regular streets, or maybe crossing the other side to see what's going on. I'm just trying to figure which streets that I'll pick, because all of the streets here are pretty walkable and pretty interesting to see. This is the other angle here, but you look how beautiful it is. So if I'm gonna make a right and see what's happening there, and then I'm probably just gonna turn back to the other side and see what's going on. And then here I am in some of the regular streets. I want to show you the difference of what's going on. Here you see, but a lot of neighborhoods in Quezon City are like this beautiful, well-paved streets. Especially if you go in the Gilmore area by Aurora, it's a nice district. And you'll see a lot of nice looking houses out here. You know, that's what makes this neighborhood great. Talking about roads being developed, they're doing it with EDSA too, widening up the sidewalks and painting the yellow line for the blind people. Here you can see the houses, how nice they are, the gates and everything. It's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie, some of these houses reminds me like if you're somewhere like in California or down in Florida, like the same concept. And the palm trees, it gives you kind of like that vibe. But if you want to feel like if you're in the West Coast, I would suggest that you go to Alabang. By the Feeling Best area, it feels like if you're literally down in Cali. I like this compound here, it looks nice. Every one of them, they have their own gate. So I guess you could park your car here. And there's a school over here, but I'm gonna make a left to a few other blocks. And this area here is different from the other side. It's actually more busier, and then if you walk around here, they have a lot of carinderias, you know, and eateries, because they got the school over here, so the kids that come out, parents, teachers, etc., and they get, you know, food for a cheap price, but very tasty. Figuring the next one, I'm gonna make a left and merge into the other side of Tomas Morato to see what's going on. It's a pretty big district. Now I'm gonna make it towards the other side to see what can I find. Detouring in the streets and see what else is updating new. But you see, nothing but beautiful houses and beautiful apartment units. And these are some of the regular streets. The thing is, a lot of people think that Metro Manila lacks of trees, but there's literally trees all over. And I think, I could be wrong, I think one of the areas Metro that has a lot of trees is Quezon City. Over here, also Marikina. Marikina is a very nice city, very clean. I made a video there like 2 years ago. So I might go back for an update video. We are back again. Look at this house combined with a tall condo unit. It's actually pretty interesting, but I'm gonna cross towards the other side of the street to see what's going on. And this is the other side. And then you see how nice and tall this building is. It's pretty cool, right? And they have a barber shop right here. And a lot of people hanging out. I think actually this side is actually cooler than the other side, you know. But I'm really loving the sidewalks, like you can see behind me. See, well and paved. So in the nighttime, I'm pretty sure this is popular. They even have a Krispy Kreme here. Anything you want, they have it all. Pretty decent area to walk. Maybe I'll do a walking video for my second channel with my wife. I want to merge some of these streets over here, but let me keep going on the other side to see what's happening. This is the other side, Mesa, where the restaurants, even Chili's they have here. So tons of chain fast food joints. I'm gonna walk over this side to see what can I find. Another thing is, you know that I guys mentioned you Vertis North, right? So I can literally see Vertis North at the end of the road. Because it's not too far from over here. A lot of streets, they literally shortcut and you make it somewhere faster. So look at this, wow, they got a Vietnamese coffee shop. Cafe, and I cannot pronounce it because I speak horrible Vietnamese, but Vietnamese coffee is one of my favorites. You know, I went to Hanoi, Sapa, and they got very good coffee. And even though it tastes smooth and everything, be careful because it's very thick and strong. So I don't think I recommend that you drink more than once a day unless you want to be awake the whole night. But yeah, I think my two favorite places where they had great coffee was Vietnam and Indonesia. Indonesian coffee is also off the hook. And I think it was named some of the best in the world too. And then here you see how beautiful the trees are. It's nice, right? So even when you enter the street, it's beautiful. I gotta lie, this street is pretty nice. Even though it looks kind of semi-private and they cover up the houses, it's still beautiful. But even got some restaurants in between and this here. Like the fence and the gate, like I say, it makes you feel like if you're in LA or somewhere else. Yeah, I think this side over here is nicer than the other side that I was walking by Tomas Morato. Over here, the houses, they look wow. I ain't gonna lie, it even reminds me when I was blogging in Bay Ridge in Brooklyn, like the same vibe. This house is how nice they are, like pretty nice and big. The Korea looking at me, and yeah, look at this, it's beautiful, wow. And then you go over here and then you got Edsa over that way. And pretty quiet. Yo, I like the street a lot, man. This is really cool. Pretty wide, you know, suburban feel. And yes, we can get this in the metro part of Manila. Like this suburban feel. Everybody thinks that all the houses are like sticking all together, but you just gotta explore deep into the area so you can see the contrast and all the diversity that we have here in this beautiful city. We also got a couple of hotel units over here, you know. So it's a neighborhood that literally has it all, and then when you go by the edge, they're developing it with a lot of high-rise buildings. So pretty interesting. This is back again in Timog Avenue. And then some of the news headquarters are all the way at the end, and a lot of hotels over here. So I'm gonna start walking over here to see what's going on, and then probably start my video for the second channel. Oh, they even have people singing videoke on the other side. Oh. Videoke bar, you know, I think Filipinos, they have an amazing voice. Even if they challenge me, I'm not gonna go because my voice is horrendous for singing, but they do that like if it's a sport. Videoke, Red Horse or San Miguel, and then the voice is just impressive. And then here, see, I don't know if this is a new building or maybe it's old, but it looks nice, and then that would take you all the way straight to Edsa. So you see how nice it is over here. And here, as you can see, the nice sidewalk, well paved. That makes it pretty interesting. And then here, I'm coming back again to the intersection. They're developing here, so I see a lot of potential with this over here, so you can see behind me. See? The buildings and everything, I just gotta be careful where I walk. But in the nighttime, it's even nicer, so I think I'm gonna start wrapping up my video over here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.